So again, now we have studied in the this full para. In that, what happened while seeing that barbarian who was about to kill that man lying on the ground, the king shouted like, "Stop!" And he scolds that barbarian and says, "In my ruling, who else? Who is such a daring person to do this job? You are a mad or what?" He used to shout at them. At that time, the barbarian, he dropped his sword, he fell to the knees of the king and used to explain why he was doing so. Because his son had some illness, and that if that illness is to be cured, then the god should be offered with some prey, with some someone's life, because his son is he had fallen sick, so he has to give something to the god, that is sacrifice to be given. And the man was going by that side, he was alone and alone roaming there, so that man was brought here and he was made to fall on the ground, to sleep on the ground, and the sacrifice was being made. If the sacrifice was given, then goddesses will be get pleased, and the son of this barbarian will get his lives. Otherwise, the son of barbarian will lose his life if the sacrifice is not given, as well as the all the men who are there who live with him, live with the, that is a troop of the barbarians. They will also end their life with the illness. So if the boy who is ill, if he is not recovering from his deathbed, what happens? This troop of the barbarian, that is all the people who lives with them, they will also end their life. So now the barbarian is very keen to save his son's life. He wanted his son's life back, who is in the deathbed. So he thinks that by offering a sacrifice of this normal man who is of no use, he can regain his son's life back, and also the troop members will also be alive. So by thinking that, he wanted to chop the head of this normal man who is laying on the ground. 14th point, the king glanced up. The king glanced towards a bundle on the temple porch and presumed it to be a sacrificed boy. His heart was torn with confusion and compassion. After listening to all these things, the king was really a compassionate king. He felt sorrow to learn that the small boy was in a deathbed. His heart is filled now because of mercy and compassion. This man whom you desire to protect, continued the barbarian, was wandering about alone and friendless in the forest. Is he of more value to you than this child with whom many persons are connected? Now the barbarians start to question king itself, whether you want to save the life of a boy who is connected with all the troop members' lives, or a simple man who is just friendless and just roaming here and there. So he is giving the choice to the king itself. The victim sat crying on the ground, a look of terror on his face. Tears fell from the barbarian's eyes. "Sir, tell me what to do," he cried. "I cannot see my son suffer this way." Now what happened? Now this, after listening to all this, the king, that is Meghavahana, he sees that the normal man who is set out to as a victim to sacrifice his life, he was just sitting on the ground, and the terror of his life losing was seen on his face. He was a bit nervous that he will offer his that this one barbarian will kill him. So he was a bit nervous. Now this barbarian says that if I didn't kill that man, I will lose my son and also the troop members. What to do? I don't know what to do. May these two persons live. That is, he thinks that what to do. The king spoke firmly. "Do not be distressed. I will save your son as well as this victim. I offer my body in sacrifice to Chandika. Kill me, O barbarian. May these two persons live." Now barbarian, what is the king's decision is, I will give my sacrifice, my own sacrifice, and let the king, let the victim as well as the boy and his troop members live, and I will cast my life, that is, I will destroy myself. He said the barbarian to cut off his head, but the barbarian says that he didn't obey the rules of the king. He said that no, you can't do like that. So what happens later? Now, see there, the barbarian struggling between incredulity and fear took a step backward. Sir, you are the king. Your life should be protected at all times. Do not pity this victim. Let him die. His life is of no significance. Now again the barbarian wants to console the king to take back his decision. He again says that you are very important. Your life is so precious. You are a king of the Kashmir, so we can't do anything for you. And if that victim is been died, it's okay. He can sacrifice his life because he is just an ordinary man. There is no significance to his life. He says like that. The king shook his head impatiently. If I can use my body to stop a killing, why should I not? Do not speak another word, kill me. So now the king is not listening. He wants the two persons to be safe and he wants himself to get sacrificed in order to save the two persons.